Soccer, put on some pressure, get some scouting, but you have to make sure there's no Marauder there with that concussive shell, so you have to have a really good read on exactly what they're doing, and continuing to be very aggressive on those chrono boosts,
Wow,
like you
yeah.
mentioned, Sean, as he just chrono boosted out yet another Soccer. Is there a pylon in the bottom right side? Is there a
There
pylon
is.
right there? Is
Uh-oh.
he gonna do a Stargate? If he does, I am in love with RSVP because Void Raised openers can be so difficult to do, but if you see that they're walling in on these maps with these neutral depots, do it because it is so darn good.
Oh, and it looks like RSVP trying to do a little scoot and shoot around, trying to get up and do a little bit of poking and prodding damage. More Stalkers coming out. I'm most surprised at that double Chrono Boost on there. So many Stalkers going to be at the front of the base early. Like two.
Yeah,
And
which
actually, at this point in the game, it's quite unusual to have
yeah,
two Stalkers this quickly. I mean, we're seeing Scenic Hack has to do all this add-on swapping to get that money 1-1-1 started, and when all of a sudden there's this many units there, Hack actually not expecting this many units at the start of the game, and wow, RSVP
oh my god.
managing to find a kind of miraculous hidden timing window against this 1-1-1 play. Xenix Hack needed to get that reactor add-on, and now looks like he's going to be losing SCVs. He will be losing the depot. The Banshee's trying to get out. Two Marines popping up, and it looks like, wow, RSVP
Wow.
and is expanding behind all of this.
Sean, this is one gate out of our Protoss player. That is all he had. The only advantage he got was when he chrono boosted out the Stalkers, and this is just snowballing out of control. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. But it goes to show that Terran players with the 1-1-1 a lot of times get extremely greedy with it. They just say, well, there's no way a Protoss player is going to break me. But he just got broke, son, because
The hell is this?
Hard, I'm going to have to play defensive.
I was thinking, all right, fine. And he's against all those rounds throughout, against all those
The
rounds
fuck was
throughout
that?
all the months.
You call that a game? What kind of fucking amateur division is this? Fucking amateur scrubs. Oh, this is gonna be a good game. Let's see what I want to watch. What I have time for. Let's watch this.
Hey everybody, welcome back. This is HD, and I'm coming at you guys with the next game in this series between Stefano and Poker Table. So if you guys want some free money at the poker table, come look for the Asian. His lings are just, 5 or 8 lings or whatever can just destroy viewer or fan. So we'll see what happens here. Now both players have spawned on Crevasse, which traditionally a very big map. They did not cross spawn, however, so we might not see as nearly as long as a game as we did see on Metalopolis. However, it's still a pretty far map, even with the players spawning without cross spawn, spawning on the right-hand side of the map. Now, both players did opt to take their expansions right away inside their natural. Now, this natural is protected, as you guys can see here, the ramp leading right up into the natural. Everything very well safe, pocketed, and protected. And also, the gas here is, I believe, a rich Vespene geyser. I'm pretty sure it is on this map. And the rich Vespene geyser actually gives you 50% more gas income per round or per trip that the SCV or drone returns that gas. So instead of returning, I believe it's 4, it'll actually return 6, which is actually pretty helpful. Now the SCV did go down as it went in there to scout, and there's the extractor. I'll go ahead and check right now, and yes, it is a rich Vespene geyser, so that's confirmed. I was just checking on one of the other naturals on the other side of the map, and in fact, both players will be expanding right away, and you can't really blame that playstyle here on this map. Before they even scouted each other, they decided, you know what, let's go ahead and throw down the hatchery or throw down the command center right away inside the natural. Very safe, very efficient, and it's going to give them a quick jump start into this game. Having said that, however, we can see that on this map, airplay can be pretty powerful with the spawns that they've gotten, especially for the Terrans, because MMA is going to be able to go ahead and drop right into the natural expansion, which, isn't too far away from MMA, and the natural is kind of just a platform that's right there, and it's very easy for MMA to hit. So something like dropships with Marines, I don't know, maybe Marines and Marauders, or just pure out Marines with Stim can do a lot of damage inside the natural. And we do actually have a starport coming up here. A lot of production off of 2 bases. three barracks, one factory, and a starport. Stim is on the way as well. And here's the location I'm talking about that can be dropped. As you guys can see right there, it's not too far for MMA. And honestly, out of this first starport, I'm predicting to see a dropship here. I don't think we're going to see anything else. And Stefano and me may be on the same wavelength here, because you guys can see that little spore crawler coming up right now to defend the backside of that natural expansion where the dropships are most potent and most dangerous to the Zerg economy. Also have a tech lab coming up here on that factory, as you guys can see in the production tab. There it is. I am predicting to see Marines with Stim and Siege Tanks here, combined with that dropship. Now, MMA doesn't necessarily need to drop into the natural. He can actually use the dropship to get high vision of that location right there that I'm highlighting, and basically use the Siege Tanks to start shelling onto the high ground with the dropship as a spotting unit. And yes, we do have Siege Tanks and Siege Mode on the way for MMA, so he is going to be going for very standard, methodical Marine tank, medvac style, which really, that's what MMA shines. We call him, or I call him, the Marine Medvac Abuser, MMA, not mixed martial arts. Little interesting random fact of the day, MMA actually used to be an MMA fighter, and that's why his name is MMA, which I think is actually kind of cool. And if you guys have ever seen MMA play live or seen pictures of him, he actually has the MMA kind of like Chuck Liddell haircut, or I don't even know if it's a haircut, it's like a buzz cut. Hold that thought though, we do have dropship coming in here with 8 Marines, but look at Stefano's already got a couple speedlings here, and the speedlings don't even have +1/+1 yet, and it is about to finish the Carapace and melee upgrade, or just the melee upgrade, but Stefano with just enough lings here to deflect the drop, and once again we're seeing the power of Stefano's style of ZBT, of just, you know, massing these lings early on, deflecting drop, deflecting the Marine tank attack onto base, and then slowly building up and ramping up to the Infestors and Ultras. So anyways, what was I saying? Ah yes, the Chuck Liddell haircut of MMA. If you guys have ever seen him play live, he does have a very interesting buzz cut. And he is actually an MMA fighter, so he's one of the few South Korean pro gamers who could probably kick your ass without even blinking an eye, which is kind of cool. Anyways, let's see what MMA is gearing up to do here. He has a small position in the middle of the map here. I like how he's taking control over all the Xel'Naga towers. As you guys can see on the mini-map, all Xel'Naga towers are owned by the red. And if you guys follow my mini-map, my mouse right there, I was showing you guys that you can't, as a Terran player MMA, you don't actually need to go around the whole map with dropships anymore if you want to drop the 3rd expansion of Stefano. He can actually just cut right across, because now he has control of the Xel'Naga towers and he has control over the middle of the map. He actually is going to be sieging up here on that little point, that northern point, and I kind of like this position. Dropping off a couple Marines here, which are
like 500
basically
dishes?
baiting themselves as siege bombs. But MMA is doing a good job here. I love the positioning of those siege tanks. It's going to be very hard to hit, unless Stefano wants to go back around here, and that looks like what he's going to be gearing up to do. And he's not attacking the tanks and Marines that are coming out of the reinforcements of the barracks and factory, rather going into the 3rd, and now going to run right into the main. Very interesting decisions here from Stefano. I'm going to go right into the natural now. So he's run his lings all the way back into the natural expansion, and meanwhile he's still sitting lings across the middle of the map. But those lings are getting shoved by the tanks, and here goes the lings now attacking those SCVs at the natural expansion, and wow, a lot of SCVs have gone down as a result of this little blind backstab. In fact, 23 SCVs have gone down. And that's just horrible for MMA. And even those tanks on the northern position have gone down as well. More lings flooding in, wrecking the tanks in the middle of the map. Incredible play by Stefano. And for a second there I was saying, you know, I don't exactly agree with him running right into the natural, but it seems to have worked out pretty well for him. He just obliterated the entire Terran position in the middle, and not only that, he got a good 23 SCV kills. Can't come out better than that. But if we look at the top here, MMA is still ahead in supply. He's actually at 98. Stefano is suffering about a little bit less than that at 81, which is a little strange to me. You'd expect Stefano to be ahead after something like that, but maybe this is just MMA's superior macro shining through. We can see the units lost tab showing that MMA has lost a lot more than Stefano has. In fact, about 400 more in resources. So I'm not entirely sure how Stefano is behind right now in supply, but maybe this is just the Koreans' macro training coming through here, because MMA is surely, even after taking all that hits and losses in the middle of the field, even after losing a large chunk of his army and his position, he's still ahead in the supply tab, which is very, very curious. Anyways, we do have now launching a push through the middle of the map here with a lot of Marines. Those 1-1 Lings are in the middle to greet them, and a couple of Infestors back there as well. Actually, the Lings may even be 2-2 right now, so those Lings are very powerful. And here they go. They're just going to run right in. The Infested Terrans just spawning all over that Sea-Shank at the Zelnaga Tower. That's going to go down instantly. But it doesn't look like Stefano's got enough to break through the middle, and he has to pull back. Unbelievable hold by MMA. And only really a ragtag army of Marines and that bunker there for holding down that area. That was basically MMA holding down by the skin of his teeth. And a couple more Lings, or even a single more fungal growth, one more fungal growth, probably would have changed that entire battle. But as it stands, Stefano has to invest once again into more Lings and Infestors to try to break this position. And this time, I think he has got enough. He is going to barrel his way in here with those 2-2 Lings, spawning Infested Terrans. Look at how much damage is being done here. But MMA with 3 more tanks, reinforcing it. And he might have enough tanks to hold the line. It's going to be so close. This is so huge. If MMA holds here, he'll be able to continue reinforcing this position. If not, then Stefano takes control of the middle of the map. And look at this, unbelievable. MMA holds with about 5 Marines and 2 tanks and pushes back the Infestors. That was an unbelievable hold, and now MMA can refortify this position while the Zerg player is macroing and trying to rebuild after that last attack. And like I said, that was a crucial point in this game. And I can't believe MMA held that. That was incredible. Now Stefano's got a... He can't even go to Hive Tech right now because he's just struggling to rebuild Lings and Infestors, as you guys can see. And the other thing that really hurts here is MMA can drop right into the natural because he has this position, and he can drop so quickly and easily and affordably. Stefano has to reposition his spores for maximum coverage, and you know, it's just a very big nuisance. There's even a little sensor tower in the middle there, which has full range and detection of the Zerg activity and movements. MMA couldn't be happier with this position. And look at the tanks and the bunkers. Oh my god, I don't know how
What the hell? What's this?
He mind controls a couple of the tanks down there, and he gets another mind control tank as well. That tank is obliterating its friends and family, but it doesn't look like it's doing enough damage. Eventually, it's going to revert back to control of MMA, and MMA looks like he may hold this position, picking up that Marine in the dropship. Beautiful pickup. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's just a single Marine, but every little bit really does count. And at the end of the day, MMA holds once again. And each time Stefano throws his forces into this Terran encampment and loses more and more, he falls further behind in technology.
There's no way the Zerg player can win.
That he had last game, he has to invest all into more Lings, more Infestors, and it throws MMA out of, or it throws Stefano out of sync.
That's
and allows
smart.
MMA to get into his stride. And once again here, the third wave from Stefano. Does he have enough? He launches a fungal. Green Vomit goes down, but is it enough? It doesn't look like it is. And look at this now. MMA is about to get +3 weapons. He's fortifying a secondary trench line to the front here, right up to the 4th expansion of Stefano. And that +3 weapons is probably going to be the biggest game changer here. A couple Lings coming in, pushing back that attack with a fungal as well. But like I said, that +3 weapons is going to be so huge because Stefano can't tech up to Hive. He's been so busy defending this position over and over again that he's fallen behind in technology. And pretty soon, those M&M are going to go stim ballistic. And maybe they're going to be the ones on
That's
crack
game.
here. Once again, Stefano going in for another wave. Does he have enough? There's 4 bunkers here. And those M&M can hop inside the bunkers if they want
That's
to.
game.
It doesn't
Festus
look like
dead.
they need to. MMA is just going to hold with absolute impunity. And Stefano
That wasn't well played, he's just
calls
fucking
well
bad.
played, very well
Scrubby
played,
ass
very well
fucking
mannered, and leaves the game.
Zerg player.
Wow, what
Fuck
a
you up.
game that was.
I'm gonna fuck him up now.
And that is actually going to
That's it. He's in for it. Alright, what are we doing now? I got an idea. Is Azur, are you still here? No, I guess he went to eat. Alright, guys. I have some big motherfucking news. Actually, no, let's play some StarCraft first. Why is my volume so loud? Alright, folks. Let's get top 16. How much more? Yeah, I can get top 16. Have I lost a game yet?